So welcome to the Rump session. We're still waiting for the slides, but there we are. So there's three of us. There is Allison Bishop, Carmit Hazay, and me. There are always a little bit of administrative things. So one thing you will notice is that there's the ICR logo at the moment. The ICR logo will actually change into pictures of various fellows, so you can play the game in your head, like do you recognize the fellow? The other thing is that you will see here names. So these are the people who should get ready, because will be up next. Now, a long time ago, when I gave my first Rump session talk, there was this idea that speakers who finished in time, they would get a little reward. So we have the same thing. If you finish in time as a speaker, you will be given a little chocolate, but you have to exit the stage from that side, because that's where the chocolate will be. And I think that's it from me, so now I'll hand over to Allison.
All right, can we get our first speakers up here for the program chair's report?
So just one remark. Michelle, you forgot to sign all these words, I think. There's no signature. It's not valid. Okay. We need our slides. Here.
Won't start the timer yet.
Okay. Timer started. Yeah, thank you very much for joining this Rump session. Was I supposed to say more on this slide? No.
No, it's okay. Next. So once upon a time, I was told that that's a very good way to start a talk. So there was Eurocrypt 2024, and the story, takes place online. It started in October 2023. That was, if you think of it, quite some time ago. People decided to submit papers. We got, if I remember correctly, 501 submissions, out of which 482 went to the review process.
And if you imagine how many pages this is, it's impossible to do this just the two of us. So we were very happy that we could rely on, first of all, our area chairs. So Sveta, Serge, Pierre-Alain, Maria, Claudio, and Daniel, who have helped us a lot in splitting this immense load of papers into more manageable parts. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. So a lot of people were involved in the review process. So we had a huge community of 104 PC members. We also got the help of external reviewers. So I won't go over the list, but if you're a PC member or if you did review a paper for Eurocrypt, I'd like you to stand up. Nobody. No one? Really? Thank you very much, all of you. There's no one.
No. Okay, this slide tells maybe a bit about our collaboration. So whenever I did not know Mark before, we started this adventure. And so when we were talking, I was always the one who would not do things right away. And Mark was, no, let's do it now, and then it's done. And he was so right every single time you said this. So it was a great help. And here you see, you see how all the PC members work over time. And what you would hope is there like no? So what you would hope is like the guy on the very left of the picture. That's what you would hope as a PC. Chair, so the reviews come in from the start. But that's not the case. It's very steep, very close to the deadline. And then you also have guys like the one on the very right, with his Mark. but far off the dash line. But of course, it's not because Mark didn't do his reviews, but it's because it's extra reviews that were missing or where we needed additional expertise. So thanks a lot to all these reviews that we got.
Okay. So if you had been on a PC before in a conference like Eurocrypt, so you should know how much work that is. So we'd like to start from TC Eurocrypt, a new tradition, and would like to acknowledge the hard work of the PC members. So we'd like to nominate some distinguished PC members. So those are those who did, the extra mile, like reviewing more papers, being super active in the discussion, or helping, in general. So this year, so we'd like to distinguish Shweta, Diego, Christina, Chris, Anne, Bernardo, Daniel, Tibor, Pavana, Fabien, Divya, Peter, Yannick, Serge, and Mark. So thank you very much for all your dedicated work.
And we do have awards like this also without the frame, so it's easier to transport, but signed.
Yeah, you can come to us and collect it.
Yeah, and then if you either got accepted or rejected, anyway, you maybe noticed that we did not do an interactive rebuttal, interactive phase with the authors, but only had a rebuttal, because we thought it's better to limit this interaction to what's needed. But some authors felt the need to still communicate with us, and that's maybe the reply all hit. So we have several emails that we wanted to show. We tried to anonymize. So we have been invited, for example, for a Zoom meeting to discuss the rebuttal.
So also some authors, told us how much they like the review and the reviewers.
And then we were asked I don't know if it was to ask if we should comment on this. I don't know. I don't think we answered, but yeah. And I also don't know what happened, but yeah. To crypto, some people were not happy, of course. It's mainly rejection email. But still, the comments were good.
Yeah.
We were happy with this, no? Or to submit to CCS.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe a fun fact. So if you're a fellow, so the probability that you hit the reply to all button is almost close to 1. So it means maybe that if, you have the tendency to click that button, so maybe you'll be soon nominated an ICR fellow. So continue to hit that button.
What's next? So...
I can take this one. So, this is almost the end of the story. So, 4,000 reviews and 5,200 comments later, that's a huge number. So, 105 papers have been accepted in the program. So, thank you and congrats to all AP authors, but also thank you to all who did submit. So we cannot have a conference without all those contributions. And you can observe that this is on par with the other IRCR conferences.
So besides the regular papers and the paper talks, we also had two great invited talks. Thank you very much, Kenny and Wouter, for both talks are already given. So thank you very much for the nice talks. We had a panel discussion on publications. Thank you very much to everybody who attended, me also, and Anne for moderating. Thank you very much, Anne. And we hope to have a nice Rump session, not so clear yet, but thanks anyway for doing. Yeah. We had behind the scenes is who always helps a lot, Kevin McCurley. So we Googled for Kevin McCurley to find a new updated picture, and that's what we found. That's the first. I hope it's not you. So we also have this one. And yes, thanks, Kevin. And some people cannot be thanked enough, I think. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, and a big shout out to our two general chairs. So Julia and Tyler. So thank you for all the work you did, and also to all the amazing organizing team. So thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. So next we'll, yeah. So we'll now give a few words on the artifact evaluation.
Yeah, hi everyone. I will keep this quick, I promise. All right, but first I need to issue a clarification. These people made me spell it wrong the entire time. It is not spelled artifact. Moving on. So, Eurocrypt was the first ICR flagship conference that had an artifact evaluation process. So the whole thing was started at CHESS in 21. Then it's been continuing at CHESS since then, and then now you are here at Eurocrypt, and it will continue at Crypto 24. I'm not sure if the Asiacrypt chairs have made a decision on this already. So for Crypto, it's going to be Mark Stevens going to be the chair. And so the idea of this process is, and I'm here to tell you about it so you're more aware of that this exists, is that the authors of invited papers were encouraged and invited to submit artifacts, which could be software implementations, hardware implementations, data sets, that kind of thing. And then the idea is that a committee looks over these, some reviewers, in order to test functionality and reusability. But we didn't go for things like reproducibility, right? So we have a quite limited scope in our process. Given that these were accepted papers, these submissions were not anonymous, and then we had like some requirements: give us a README, tell us what this does, give us a license, and then we had some reviewers look at this and give some feedback. The whole thing was interactive, was meant to be interactive, but the point of this is to essentially accept every submission. So the idea was to improve the submissions rather than do an accept, reject decision. And here's the guiding question. The idea is, in a few years' time, some professor asks some poor grad student, kind of, why don't you extend the result from this old paper? Do they have a fighting chance of actually doing that, right? So can they take this? Can they run this? Can they kind of hack it? Like, that's the idea that we're aiming for here. Okay, we had a small committee, so here are all the members. So thank you all of you who were on the committee. So Luca, Maria, Jan, Marcel, Benjamin, Jan Baptiste, Peter, Jurai, and Mark. So thank you. I want to raise an issue and that you can have opinions on, because I was the chair of this process and 2 artifacts that were accepted were submitted by me. So I accepted my own submissions, which is not okay. The way we handled this is that Mark Stevens, who will be the chair of Crypto, kind of like he was given these artifacts and he then kind of handled the review process and made the accept-reject decision. I would like you all to encourage to have strong opinions about this and talk at Mark and me about this so we can think about like maybe there's a better way of doing this. The rationale is the community of people who evaluate artifacts is very small, so it might be difficult to prevent those from being submitted. Okay, we accepted 14 submissions, 10 straight up accepted, 3 with Shepard, and 1 we just merged. So essentially we accepted everything. We didn't award a best artifact award. A question I have, what does a best artifact even look like? Like, what should we go for? How should we change the process? And the other question I would like to ask is, so we ran this like a review process with anonymous reviewers. Given the low stakes of this process, maybe we shouldn't. So that is also something for the community to consider, and that's it.
Thank you. All right, would our next speaker please come up? All right, here's the clicker.
Hi, to keep this Rump session fun and entertaining, let's talk about climate change and the carbon footprint of flying, shall we? All right, I want to advertise a discussion group We call it Eurocrypt. It's happening tomorrow morning. Let me explain. So I guess you don't need me to tell you that intercontinental flying is emitting a lot of CO2. I computed some numbers for you. In addition to that, physical attendance is currently required, as these two quotes show. So this creates, I know for a fact that this creates a lot of moral dilemma for some members of our community. Should we care? Is this dilemma legitimate? And I mean, should we try to be inclusive to these people who who prefer to have a smaller carbon footprint, basically? And if, assuming we do, assuming the answer is yes, what are our options? I'm not going to go over all of this. This is actually what we will discuss tomorrow morning. And know that, yes, we did discuss some of these points during the panel discussions, but briefly, and I think these points, in particular because they are like complex issues that could have negative consequences, and that we should really think carefully about implementing any of these things, I think we deserve lengthier conversation. And this will happen, as I said, tomorrow at 10. All right, now it's time for something related, Sustainability Award.
Thank you, Romain. So, Eurocrypt 2024 Sustainability Award. We need to implement this through a very efficient protocol. We have an award for the longest train ride. We are looking for the longest train ride. That's how we do it. Please take out your phone if you came by train, Google Map from the station where you left to Zurich Hauptbahnhof. Read the kilometers in distance. It's not about the time that you spend traveling, you know, sightseeing in Frankfurt or whatever. It's about the distance. I give you 10 seconds to do that. So everybody who came by train, please Google Map, take the car, choose the car as a vehicle, and read the number of kilometers. So who has more than 300? Show of hands. Okay, we have some people upstairs. Yes, good, good, good. 400. Raise your hand. It's a bit hard to see for me. Okay, we still have some hands. 500. Okay, you guys are very okay. Keep up your hand. 600. People upstairs still not giving up. Yes, yes. Where was I? 700? Oh, I'm sorry. 700. We still have some hands. We still have some hands. 800. Sorry, Wouter. We still have some hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Raise higher, raise higher. I cannot see you. Yes. 900. I see you. 900. Somebody's holding up a beer. Don't do that. 1,000. 1,000. Wow. 1, 2. I see 2 people. Anybody else? Okay, 1,100. Okay, one gave up. This is between 2 people. What? You came from the same place? Oh, damn it. Okay, we don't have a protocol for that. Okay, tell me the number of kilometers. Almost 1,200. Can you please both come to the stage? A big clap of hands for over 1,200 kilometers train ride. I assume that must have been, well, almost a day. So the prize for the Sustainability Award is a free attendance of Eurocrypt 2025 in Madrid. I hope you come by train. And we're going to figure out how to share this between the 2 of you. So we need a minute for the second recipient of the award to come down the stairs. Jetzt musst du es beiden geben. Yes. Quick, quick, quick. Up. Stairs are over there.
It was 1 hour delay. I don't know if that helps, but
No, it was just for distance. Machen wir. Okay, Suniva and Diego, thanks a lot for coming that long by train. Congratulations on the Sustainability Award this year. Gibst du sie?
He took the same train as
Ja, gut.
All right, that was over time, but I'm going to say the kids can get chocolates. All right, would our next speaker please come up?
Hello, everybody.
Do you want this?
Yes. So, hello. Probably you cannot see from afar, but I am Alan Turing, and I'm here to talk to you about the security theater. The security theater is the process by which, if you came here by plane, since we're just talking about plane, you went to an airport, queued for a lot of time, just to have your water thrown away. And then you landed here in Zurich, and then you came to the conference venue just to get your water thrown away again. Okay, so I'm here to argue that this process gives us no security. It's a theater, because we live in a world where we are allowed to bring laptops on planes. I was very sad to see that this process is in place also in conference venues, so I decided to try and test this process a bit, to bring something fresh inside of Eurocrypt. Something fresh like, well, it's best if I show you. What's more fresh than a freshly done cheese sandwich? And this is my laptop. And as you can see, my laptop features an Intel Cheese Core Duo, some bread, some cucumber. I'm now gonna make a sandwich on stage, time allowing. You know, all these mornings without breakfast, it was this easy. Don't forget the cucumber. It gives like a lot. It adds a lot to a cheese sandwich. I think this will have to do. So, eat your breakfast and travel safe. You're safe not because of security checks, but because the people around you care about you, because we are a community and that makes us strong, not people looking inside of our luggage.
Thank you. I think we'll confiscate that sandwich, though. All right, here you go.
All right, everyone. So my name is Joppe Bos, and together with Andreas Hulsing, we are the editors-in-chief for this new ICR Journal, so the ICR Communications in Cryptology, and I just wanted to give a brief update because I think it's very related to all the things we have been discussing the last couple of days about the scalability of the ICR. So for people who have not seen the main principles of the CIC, I posted them here. So as you can see, the no travel, scalability, it's all in here. And in the process of creating this journal over the last 2 years, we've been working a lot behind the scenes to get things ready. One of the things, and Kevin will be talking about this later in the Rump session, is about the whole infrastructure for the copy editing, and the other is about the LaTeX style file we created. So if you have any comments, go to this website, file your issues, and let us know. So some statistics. The very first issue now has been published. Next week we will publish the second issue. We received 104 submissions, out of 100 were proper. And a very senior member in our community, and he allowed me to tell you this, we desk rejected his paper because he honestly forgot that his submission already appeared in another journal. So this is not even a joke. So remember this journal, we don't have any page limits, but we separate between regular papers and long papers. And I really would like to point out that really the proofs, you can stuff them in the appendix, but they will be part of this page count, and we require reviewing of all the proofs. So we received 75 regular papers, 25 long, and in the end, we, for the first issue, accepted 32 papers. Some statistics, so we have various areas, and you can see the number of submissions per areas, number of accepted papers. And from this, I think it's pretty clear, if you want to get the highest acceptance rate, you should work in theory. So how does this compare to the other area, or to the other venues we have? You can see that here. So I think Eurocrypt, it's very prestigious. So if you average out the acceptance rates of the last 5 years, you can really see that it's most difficult to get into Eurocrypt. So if you got a paper here, then congratulations. We have a very large editorial board, around 80 people. Our goal was to minimize reviewing. It was already said before, if you were a PC member of Eurocrypt, you had an enormous load of reviews to do. Our goal was 2 to 3 reviews. We failed because we got too many submissions. It was 3 to 4. We extended the editorial board, and I think we fixed that problem for the second issue already. So I think the acceptance rate was 32%, and we fit right in the middle compared to the other ICR venues. And finally, to conclude, next week, as I said, we have the notification of the second issue. If you're interested and you want to publish in the Communications in Cryptology, the next deadline is July 8th. Feel free to submit your paper to the CIC. Thank you.
Okay, you may not be aware of this, but next year in Switzerland, there will be an event of even greater reach than Eurocrypt, and it will be Eurovision. And why? Because Switzerland won this year. Woo! Now, you may not know that the artist, after they won, they immediately dropped the trophy, so that prompted one of our biggest insurance companies in Switzerland to run this ad. Now, these guys are pretty famous for their ads. I'll give you some examples. So here's another one. Or maybe this. Like if you lose your phone on a ski lift. But my personal favorite is this. Now, you may not find this funny, but Maurer in German means mason. And it's really funny if you think about the fact that there's a cryptographer and a former president of Switzerland called Wally Maurer. Now, also, maybe you don't know that next year there will be another event called Eurocrypt, which is a song contest, but based on cryptography. And maybe you want to hear or learn about some of the entries from various different countries. Yes? Okay, let's go. First country, basically it's also known in, under its old French name of Concours Eurovision de la Chanson plein texte attaque. Okay. Now, Norway first entry. Unfortunately, the title is in Norwegian. Now, could somebody please translate this? What? I wish we had mountains like Switzerland. That is correct. Now, in case you ever need help distinguishing Swiss mountains from Norwegian mountains, I give you an almost perfect strategy. If the picture contains a mountain, it's in Switzerland. Okay, next entry, Israel. Unfortunately, again, I cannot read this. What does it say? Anybody? Who speaks Hebrew? Oh, please. Say it.
Foundations of Throwing Shoes.
Correct, the Foundations of Shoe Throwing, Volume 2, Basic Throws. Now, if you understand this joke, I guess you're a little older. Next, Switzerland. Who speaks Romansh? Kamenish, where are you? Not here. Okay, I'll take this. It means I'm out of money, and if you need a sketch for your insurance company, I already prepared one for you. Next up, Moldova. Now, some of you may see where this is going, others may not, but the singer from Moldova is a very famous, very influential singer that now lives in the United States, and the song is based on a crypto paper from 2014. And in fact, there is a little dance. Would you like to see the dance? Can we see the dance, please?
Can we cue the shorter video, please?
Oh, unfortunately, it's sideways. Very good. Thank you. Okay, finally, Greece. Who speaks Greek? Nobody. There are no Greek people. What does it say? Shout it. Correct. My boss is Greek. I don't make jokes about Greece. I'm Swiss. I'm not scared of cowbells. Now, this is Ouroboros, and it gave the name to a famous blockchain protocol. And if you're interested in blockchains, look out for this paper on ePrint. And we revisit the input endorser technique, and we do so with a very realistic network model that models blockchains under high capacity, near capacity load. Thank you. Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to say. See you next year at Eurocrypt. Thank you.
I feel like an idiot standing up here giving a serious talk, but it's not the first time. So you might have seen this in the panel discussion, this number from ACM, what their open access charge will be. Price per paper of $1,300, $1,800 for a non-member. So I want to show you how much better ICR is. So when we started doing the communications and cryptology, when I first heard about this proposal, I thought, oh man, that's going to be hard to do. And then I got to thinking about it, and I said, well, maybe we should set about trying to do this and keep the cost to a minimum. And we decided that the best way to do that is to minimize the amount of human labor required for this. So step one, Joppe and I wrote a new LaTeX class, which looks somewhat different than the LLNCS class. One thing that happens is when you run PDF LaTeX, it actually spits out all the metadata into a separate file. So that means nobody has to enter that. There's no form to fill out. Step two, I figured we needed better software. I mean, if we learned anything from the information age, better software makes people function better. So we have these three pieces, the submission piece, the copy editing piece, and the indexing and web hosting piece. The submission piece, we're just using an open source version of hot crap. And I must say that this is non-standard for a journal to actually do reviewing this way. You know, if you look around in the academic landscape, nobody uses this. But it's what ICR wanted to use. Next is the copy editing and production editing. Now, about 10 years ago, there was a Rump session talk about copy editing from Springer. I advise you to go look up that presentation because it's quite good. I will say that this is potentially the most expensive part because humans are required to do this right now. But what we do is we push back on the authors. But when we push back on them, we try to give them good tools so that they can also solve their problems. So I actually wrote a parser for the BibTeX log and the LaTeX log, which if you really want to have an exercise in futility, I advise you to try that. And you know, once the author is satisfied with it, they send it to the copy editor sends back items to be fixed, the author responds to each item, and then they send the final version. Then the copy editor checks that the changes were satisfactory. They have a side-by-side view of both the LaTeX source and the PDF. And when they approve it, then it goes into the issue to be published. And when all the papers have been, you know, prepared and have been copy edited, all the editor has to do is push a button to publish the issue. So the web pages go live, the DOIs get registered with crossref.org, the preservation archive gets registered, indexing is performed, and we're launched. And so it actually works pretty smoothly. I was surprised that it actually worked out. I will say there have been a lot of people looking over our shoulders. You have to coordinate launching a journal with a lot of people. Crossref for the org, for the DOIs, ISSN for your ISSN number, the indexing agencies, the archiving. It's kind of a zoo to run a journal, but it's possible to do. So then you ask the question, what does it actually cost to run a journal? What do we actually pay for communications and cryptology? So there's sort of inescapable cost. And the software development, luckily we've got me who retired and I have nothing better to do, so I donated my time for the software, but it will be open source, so hopefully it'll be maintainable. Thank you, thank you. So then if you look at what it would cost to publish 200 papers a year, I actually total up all the costs, so running the web server and paying for the DOIs and paying for the archiving, and all of that totals up to $900 to publish 200 papers. And if you did 1,000 papers, it'd be $1,700. So that means that if you're comparing to the ACM, or the ACM non-member price for publishing one issue, we undercut that by a factor of 1,000. So my question is, where the hell's the money going in ACM? Okay, and the final thing is about the copy edit. Thank you. The final thing is about the copy editing. We're using volunteers to do that, but I actually have a plan to use large language models to try to do that. Thank you very much. Who's next? Green goes forward.
All right, cool. Yeah, perfect. Is this the right one? Oh yeah, that's the right one. Okay, good. All right, hello everyone. I'm sorry to be giving like a serious talk. I will be talking about a physical hardware implementation of an interactive protocol called quantum Tic Tac Toe. So you all know and you love or hate normal Tic Tac Toe. I guess all of you solved it when you were 4 years old. A couple of years ago, a guy called Everett figured out that if you just add a couple of quantum moves, this actually becomes quite a deep game. And it's currently an open research question whether optimal strategies for this game exists. So this was sort of a rabbit hole that I kind of fell into. And I wanted to play against my friends, but nobody wanted to go online and play with me. So my solution was to buy a bunch of dice and figure out how to play it on the board. Now, basically, to introduce the game, there are 3 moves. The first one is a classical one, and you place one of the die with a 1 up, meaning that there's a 100% probability that if you collapse the wave function, your x will be in this square. Otherwise, you can, of course, do a superposition move, in which case it collapses in one of the squares with 50-50% probability. And more interestingly, you can now start to entangle with your opponent. And in this case, they are, of course, correlated probabilities, where one x will appear either on top or the middle, and the other square will be an O. And you can even entangle with superposition states, in which case the dice get turned with a 4 up to indicate that there is a quarter probability that your X or O will appear where you want it to be. So this is my implementation of the game as it exists on the website. I've been having a lot of fun with this, and I can happily convey to you that I have succeeded in cornering almost all of my friends and forcing them to play against me. Once the board is full, the state, of course, gets observed and therefore collapses into one of the many board configurations that is possible based on the moves that were done. And then you simply observe, okay, did anybody win yet? And in this case, X won on the diagonal, of course. In cases where nobody has won yet and there are still open squares left, the game simply continues. Great. Now, once I have this dice idea, I started thinking like, okay, can we do more? Can we introduce quantum phases, for example, like phase cancellations? And the answer is yes, because you can orient these triangular dice in 2 different ways. So let's say right side up is a phase of +1, and upside down is a phase of -1. And then you introduce the rule that phases cancel between the players, of course, otherwise it would be a boring game. So this is one of the moves that you can make now. You see that there is exactly 1 die here that is upside down. And if you observe this, then the middle square has been cancelled. And therefore, there only appears either an X or an O in the top square. Of course, you can cancel both of them and then observe it, and then the board will be simply empty. And yet I claim to you that as long as both players do use at least some quantum moves, we will get a game that does not simply go on forever. I will leave this as a sort of challenge to you in order to keep my time constraints here and get some chocolate afterwards. But you can try and think about what will the resulting probabilities be if you do a phase cancellation on a superposition state. Thank you very much, and come find me in order to try it out.
Yeah, come on, your timer's starting. Okay, who wants the clicker?
Katerina is, no?
Oh no,
I
it's me.
can do the,
Okay.
or you can do all of it?
Yes, you
Yeah,
say when it
that's
starts. It starts.
No. So who has ever seen the wing cat?
Oh no!
Well, make some noise if you have. Come on, go yeah!
Okay, you might have seen it on the break slides announcing the Women and Allies discussion session that happened yesterday.
So, Katarina, how did it go?
Well, actually, it went so well, we even got to put the photos into our slides. But we had some really nice discussions and a lot of suggestions for the next conferences.
Cool, but what does WING stands for, really?
Well, WING stands for Women in Cryptography. And we have a community that has been created roughly 2 years ago, and we are active in many, many ways. So we have a Discord server with over 200 people. Woo, yeah! And we have already mingled over 75 pairs in coffee breaks.
Wow!
And we are currently running our second edition of Women in Cryptography seminars. And we are also organizing in-person meetups.
Look at the great pictures from RWC. So yeah, and our next speaker in the seminar is really great, and they're sitting just there. So please join us on the 12th of June, 2 p.m. CST, and it's on Zoom, so it's super easy to join, and we're counting on you.
But we have a little problem, that is, the wing cat is actually really, really heavy. And currently we are missing some people, some hands to help us organizing all the things we want to organize.
So, for example, you could help us organize something at Crypto or Eurocrypt. You could help with the infrastructure, or you can just give us some money and funding. That would be really nice.
Yeah, join us?
Yeah. Yes, so please join us.
And also, no, wait. We don't need only female hands, so whatever your hand identifies at, please come and join us, okay? We need help. Thank you.
Thank you. I have heard a rumor that next seminar talk might have some good jokes in it, so come check it out. All right, next up.
Here we go. Okay. Oh, there's only 2 buttons. This is really easy. Hi, everyone. So I'm not sure. This is Crypto Doodles Revisited. It was going to be what happened to Crypto Doodles, but Allison has really funny jokes, and she was like, this is more crypto-y. So if you guys don't know what Crypto Doodles is, welcome to the internet. It was a novelty Twitter account that was dedicated to bad puns and funny talk moments, such as gate by gate gobbling. This was a pandemic joke about doing NPC over small groups, because you know what? Stay safe. And Allison Blob. And you know, we got some really cool, very philosophical moments, like, why does Bob have so many laptops? Anyways, if you have been on the internet at all, you've noticed that maybe Twitter doesn't exist anymore, which is kind of sad because that's where it lived. So what happened to it? Well, it briefly was a WordPress site. Somebody asked me, you know, oh, hello, 2012, like, didn't realize you were back. It was also briefly an Instagram. Turns out not a lot of cryptographers are on Instagram. Kind of sad. Is it a blue sky? You know, it's a lonely blue sky. But realistically, it just lives on my tablet, never to see the light of day. Oh, sorry, I guess I de-anonymized myself. Hi, I'm Doodles. So anyways, yeah, it was actually kind of pseudo-anonymous. This is a weird way to out myself. But yeah, so I guess like maybe it's gonna come back to Blue Sky. You know, I feel very in theme, so maybe that's where it's gonna live. But I'm also a little bit uninspired. So if anybody has some nice puns or whatever, I would love to like, you know, get the creative juices flowing. Or if anybody else wants to draw some fun stuff, it's actually really nice. You should consider making little jokes. But yeah, this didn't take 4 minutes.
Hello?
Hello.
All right.
Trying to take fast. Sorry. Okay. Can I start?
Starting now.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank, first of all, ChatGPT for being here. I mean for the jokes, of course. And we present the hungry cryptographer problem. So this problem has been noticed since I came here to the conference. So let's say that I'm participating in this conference. As you can see, I have crutches. So getting food or getting drinks is a tough work for me. So I will say that I was expecting people to run for food, but not to run like animals. They were going for it, stacking up food. And I was like, okay, so I'm a cryptographer. Let's analyze this. So at this point, I had some ideas, some background checking. So as in Italian, I would say, where is my espresso? Where can I get it? And in some breaks, there was no espresso, so I was sad. So I went back some theorems, and there was these sneakers guys. They were doing some ads about, I don't know, food, and they were saying, you're not you when you're hungry. So who are you? And I asked Gemini to explain me that. So cryptographers, they are human people, for now, of course. And they solve complex mathematics problems with the help of coffee and tea. And sometimes they have curiosity or hobbies, but most of the times they just go for a math problem.
And you might say, why should we care about cryptographers going hungry? But that's what we've been doing since the beginning of this field. We've always worried about what's going to happen for dinner. It's just, we're a bit more naive back then, I would say. You know, we just cared if NSA is going to pay for our dinner. And turns out NSA is willing to pay, as long as you don't ask them to confirm it. But food is nice and all. The more important thing for cryptographers, who pays for the drinks? And we might be able to do some convincing here. And thinking back, we care about how much food we can get and how we can make sure that we're not the ones paying for it. So let's see what we can do in this situation, right? And this is a very realistic setting. So crypto is going big, the community is growing. We managed to find this gem from the last Rump session. And yeah, even this year, you know, it's like, at least it's good we have our priorities straight, you know. We can go without a bit of food, but drinks must be provided. So
what kind of cryptographer are you? People that are taking drinks and food. Are you the budget cryptographer that just goes on Meetup for the food and they expect the burger, but the burger never comes? It happened. Or you are a venture capitalist funded cryptographer. You don't care about money, right? And you don't care about the minerals problem. Or are you the trending quantum cryptographer that doesn't care about if learning with errors is broken or not, but cares if there is the slice of pizza? And yeah, so I analyze a bit of the psychology of cryptographers, and they have a lot of fear of missing out. They miss out news, but they are more fear. The fear is more about missing out food. So the food on the buffet is taken with the principle of hoard now and devour later. So as I said initially, people were stacking up sandwiches on each other, and I was with crutches without taking anything, and I was like, okay, this must be a principle, like a FIFO, LEAF, or something. And I call it hoard now and devour later. And actually, where people are inside doing conferences, sometimes people were waiting outside for the food, and the staff was saying, hey, I'm sorry, the food is not ready. Can you wait 1 minute more?
So yeah, we had a lot of interesting insight, but when it came to actually doing the work, thank you, ChatGPT. The only problem is, I think he has a different idea of what kind of problem we're trying to solve here. So let's go for a second time and be a bit more specific. MPC, let's say some secret sharing, but I think he likes more to share sandwiches than secrets. So given our attendance, that doesn't seem to really work out. I guess the overhead will be too insane. So the problem seems pretty difficult. Can we fix it? Probably not, but at least now we know it's a problem, so someone can probably write a Rump session about it. And for the rest of us, I guess there's always McDonald's. But then again, we're in Switzerland, so maybe just go straight for the drinks.
Hello everyone, I'm Chang Mu. Today I'm inviting you to pay a bit more attention on the privacy right of verify together. The story I'm going to tell is between two old friends that many of you may be familiar with. They are the prover and the verify in interactive proof, where the strong prover trying to convince the verifier about something. Sometimes it's honest and kind with tell the verifier the right thing. Some other time can be malicious. You will try to bully the verifier and fool it to access on wrong answer. Even more, with Cryptographer even help arming the prover with the knowledge proof, ensuring that the verifier cannot learn anything from the prover during the protocol. That just sends the verifier in a rather vulnerable situation. So our question today is, what if the verifier wants some privacy of a secret, such as this? It's okay if you didn't take a notice, because it was ignored in the last few decades. That is why we need instant hiding interactive proof. This is a kind of proof system where the prover make the proof to the verifier without learning the exact statement it is proving. So to be a little bit in detail, in such an instant hiding interactive proof or IHIP, the input instance is only private to the verifier, and the prover would only receive the input length as the input. In addition to the standard completeness and soundness, we also need the prover learn nothing about the instance in the interaction. Or in the other way, what the prover can see in the interaction will not beyond it can generate by itself. Though this notion was proposed in early 1990, almost the same time as the knowledge proof, we have little understanding about it. And in recent study, we found that it shares some common property with the statistical knowledge proof, which is those knowledge proof where the knowledge property and the soundness hold for a very information theoretical strong manner. More detail, we show that the IHIP and the SAK, they both contain in AM co-AM, meaning that unlikely the MP is contained in them unless some collapse of a polynomial hierarchy. And we also show that as long as any hard problem that is contained in any of these two classes, this would imply existence of one-way function. But there are also evidence showing that these two classes should be distinct from each other. Specifically, we don't know how to construct instant hiding interactive proof for some natural SCK problems such as graph isomorphism. And also, we show a language with respect to some oracle that has instant hiding interactive proof, but doesn't have a statistical knowledge proof. The difference is that the instant hiding interactive proof is closed under any composition of efficient function, while similar result only holds for SAK with polynomial size formula. So to find more about the instant hiding neutrality proof, you may go our study and where you may find a few interesting results and quite a few open problems. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have a break now. We're going to resume on time at 8:45. Hello. We will be resuming in 30 seconds.
Any green button, I guess.
Green button, yes. Not started yet.
Hello. I can start? Hello? Good evening, everyone. I'm a contractor at NIST, and I will be giving an update on 7 NIST projects. So this is going to be quite fast. I suggest you focus on the projects you're interested in, and then in the rest you can zone out. Okay, so post-quantum cryptography. NIST will publish the final FIPS standards for Kyber, Dilithium, and Sphinx Plus in the summer of this year. And later in the year, it will publish the draft FIPS for Falcon. Last month, NIST hosted a workshop, videos and slides are online, where it outlined the changes that were made between the draft FIPS and the final versions of the FIPS as a result of public feedback. There are currently still many candidates being analyzed. The 4th round of the CAM selection will end in fall of 2024. And there are currently 40 on-Rump submissions for signatures being analyzed, and very soon there will be a filtering out of these submissions into round number 2. Multi-party threshold cryptography. There are 2 reports whose drafts have been published quite a bit ago in 2023 and 2022. The final versions will be published expectedly within a couple of months. The NIST call for multi-party threshold schemes is calling for specifications, implementation, and evaluation of threshold schemes, notably involving multi-party computation, fully homomorphic encryption, zero-knowledge proofs. One of the novelties in the final version as compared to the draft is that we will split deadlines. One will be for public abstracts in the end of 2024, and the other one for the final packages in early 2025. We intend to encourage collaboration, and in particular, we are enabling differentiation of authors across different modules of the submissions. There's also an IR on notes on threshold ADSA and Schnorr. There won't be many modifications, but we will integrate new references that have appeared since the draft version. Privacy enhancing cryptography. This project intends to accompany emerging PEC and promote reference material. We have an upcoming virtual workshop, WPEC 2024. This will take place in September 24 to 26. You can submit abstracts for a talk until July 22nd. We have chosen a main feature topic, private set intersection, which will occupy about 50% of the workshop, but the workshop is also open to broader techniques. There's the block cipher modes of operation project. The goal is to address limitations in the NIST-approved set of block cipher modes of operation. Currently in consideration is the development of an accordion cipher mode. This will be a new tweakable AES-based variable input length strong pseudo-random permutation. And with respect to this, NIST is organizing a workshop on the requirements for this mode. It will be an in-person workshop on June 20 to 21. You can still register until June 13th. It will be in Rockville, USA. There's also a discussion draft about the requirements. It has been published on April 10th, and public comments are due by July 1st. Lightweight cryptography, here the main update is simply to say that the draft standard on ASCON will be published later in 2014. The selection of ASCON was explained in a previous report and workshop. The standard will include an authenticated encryption with associated data mode, and will also include a hash and/or an extendable output function. Random bit generation, this is the project that handles the SP890 series. Part A is about deterministic random bit generators. Part B is about entropy sources, and Part C is about RBG constructions. Part C has been in draft mode for a long time. A fourth draft will be published very soon, and it actually adds a new RBG mode called RBGC that allows for the use of the RBG chains. Later, meaning after this publication, there's also the intention of producing a revision number 2 of the RBG constructions, and the plan here is to add the RBG based on extendable output functions. Finally, NIST has a crypto publication review process project. The goal is to ensure that standards that are older than 5 years are eventually reviewed. A review can end in a decision of reaffirming, updating, revising, converting, or withdrawing the draft. Related to this, the current news are upcoming soon. There will be a special publication about HMAC that essentially converts the old document with the HMAC standard, and it includes also some of the requirements for message authentication using HMAC. Recently completed reviews that resulted in a decision to revise include a special publication on key derivation functions and 2 special publications that include GCM, JMAC, and XTS cipher modes. Under review are also the SHA-3 publications, the standard and also special publication on SHA-3 derived functions, and recently withdrawn. Finally, on January 1st of this year, TDEA has been withdrawn. Thank you very much for your attention. You can find a lot of information online, and most of these projects have a forum that you can subscribe to. Thank you.
One quick announcement. We do have 3 Rump Session awards that we will be giving at the end. So if you in the audience would like to influence the Rump Session chairs as to who you think should get an award, please be interactive and make your approval known. All right. There you go.
Thank you. Oh. Okay, hello everyone. So as you might or might not know, on Sunday as part of the affiliated events to Eurocrypt, we organized a workshop on cryptographic code audit. And attached to it there was a capture the flag. So a CTF is a challenge where teams try to compete for solving, in this case, cryptographic challenges. And it's maybe something not super typical for Eurocrypt, but we were very happy of the, we got very professional teams participating. And I think it's finally time to announce the winners of the Eurocrypt 2024 CTF. So, can somebody do a drum roll or something like that? And the winner is West Ham Defense Audit Group. Congratulations. Please come on stage and claim your prize. So this is a very Swiss prize, as you can see. It's an engraved fondue set. And in case you get hungry and you want to try it immediately, here is some artificial instant fondue that we found at Migros. So, Inguetti. Want to say something?
West Ham remains well capitalized and well defended.
Thank you very much. So we have to say that they were very good, but there was another team who did extremely well. It was really a tie break, and so at the end we decided to also give a second prize. And let's welcome Kaulmar and Robin. Congratulations. Here you go, another very Swiss prize for you and your team members. This is a set of Swiss knives, so so maybe it's better than the first prize. So please accept it. So. Want to say something? Not necessary. So.
Yeah, I think it's super cool to have some of these. Trying to bring the CTF crypto community in with the research community a bit more, because there's a lot of overlap between active researchers and some of the top level of CTF players, both here and a lot of people in the audience. So it's really cool to see them brought together.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, we needed to get the chocolate, so. thank you, everyone, and see you next time. Thanks for playing.
Thank you. All right, let's have our next speaker come on up.
Thank you, thank you. Very kind, very kind. I want to start with good news and bad news. The good news is I did not get tear gassed this year. But Britta Hale offered to taser me off of the stage, so there's that. The bad news is I also had different food expectations. I've read Asterix in Switzerland, so I thought the coffee breaks would be like this and the lunch break would be like this, but it was not. Anyway, my talk is called Cryptographic Identities, What Boat Are You On? And I want to say, like, first, very seriously, I think it's really cool as a community that pronoun stickers at conferences have become a normal thing. I think this is great. We should keep doing this. Really, really. And this is the most serious part of my talk. I really think this is cool. And then this year we had other stickers as well. And those I have questions about. I saw I love MPC. I saw Misogyny Lover. I saw I break stuff. Proof nerd, those we have. I saw lattice person, and here already, as a lattice person, I noticed that the person making the stickers got like progressively less excited with everyone. Lattice person, and then there was codes. Okay, those are, yeah, no comment. Then this, I think this is for people who like rainbow signatures. And then there was Genussboot. And this is not a primitive, I know. I had questions about this one. And admittedly, I stopped like learning German after middle school, but in my middle school German, this means pleasure boat. And according to Google Translate, it also means pleasure boat. And pleasure boat to me sounds like, you know, kind of what happens on the pleasure boat stays on the pleasure boat situation. I don't know why you would put that on your name tag. It's kind of wild. I don't know if you remember when we had Cards Against Cryptography, like the Cards Against Humanity spin-off. I think you have like a winning hand here. If you have like, I'm meeting my misogyny lover after the Rump session at the pleasure boat. I think like this is basically the one that always wins. Eat, sleep, pleasure boat, repeat. You're there. This you cannot lose. I'm on the pleasure boat, and all I'm wearing is my red lanyard. There's the, but really, you know, the Pantarei, the Helvetia. I think this is very good because this really, you have three kinds of cryptographers, right? You have Pantarei, you have the whole, all things come into the Heraclesius thing, like the holistic view of cryptography. Then you have Helvetia, if you like fonts, and you know, and then you have Pleasure Boat, if you just like the Pleasure Boat. If I'd made the slides after Adi Shamir's talk, this would have said vigorously wiggling, probably. I just want to quickly mention we're hosting PKC in Reuros next year. Please support your papers. But like, I mean, these darned identity things are going too far, is what I imagine some older people are saying. And this I understand. This I understand. We should stop this. So I have a proposed alternative solution for this. We get rid of name tags like with names. You get to the conference and you can choose. If you want a feminine name, you can get Alice. If you want a masculine name, you can get Bob. And if you want a gender-neutral alternative, you can get Charlie. And this has all kinds of advantages. No identity politics, no need to remember many names, no fancy affiliations. Yes, we get it, you work for a rich university. And it's easier for the conference attendees because they just print 300 of each and put them on the desk. And then, what I learned is that the ICR is already starting to implement this, which I don't know if you noticed, but if I look for myself on the ePrint archive, it already says you maybe are actually called Bob Duurkoch. So that is good. And with that, I want to conclude. Use lots of stickers. The stickers are really cool. Come to PKC 25 and live every day like you are on the pleasure boat. Thank you very much.
That's not my dog.
Huh?
That's not my dog.
No, because it's Charlotte's dog now.
No, it should be mine.
Huh?
Should be mine. Are you next?
I'm not next.
I also don't think you're on.
It looks like my slides though.
Yeah, just go for it.
Okay, cool.
Well.
Okay, yeah, looks like we'll be able to do it. It looks like my slides. All right, thank you. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Charlotte, and Paul already said like there's a new label, which is Proof Nerd as well. And I must admit, I am one of those. So yes, I literally say proofs are important. And even more than that, because I'm an EasyCrypt person, I even think mechanized proofs are important, which I think not everyone is agreeing anymore. Especially because if you get into working with EasyCrypt, you very soon realize that this name might be a bit misleading, because mechanized proofs are actually quite hard if you start with them. So I started with working with formalizing proofs for protocols and got a bit lost in the beginning. And some people did that as well. Dupussard, Kohlberg, and Oechsner published a paper where they tried to make this easier by using a new technique called SSP, state separating proofs, and mapped that concept into EasyCrypt. And they used something called CryptoBox as their illustrating example for that. And they realized we get an easier code, or like easier implementation in EasyCrypt, but some things still remain hard. So that's where I started in the discussion with EasyCrypt people. What happens if we don't be that dogmatic about using SSP in our proofs? And yes, I wrote a new proof for CryptoBox, which is hopefully coming soon on ePrint. I'm working on that. And this led me to the question, which I would like to discuss with some of you. How should we do proofs from now on? So there are multiple ways of doing proofs now. And the question is, can we find something that's actually better than something else? And as you see, there are a lot of question marks, because the actual question I would like to discuss is how to name this, because I'm completely done with naming. I don't know any acronyms that are good for this. I have some name suggestions that I got from people on this conference. I would take out the hybrid approach, because we use hybrid too often already. But yes, please come to me if you want to vote for one of those names, or if you have any suggestions, because I really need a new name. Yes. Thank you, and just text me.
Okay, I get right to the point. Our community is divided. Who here is team additive notation? Who here is team multiplicative notation? Okay, so as we see, our community is divided. At least in my head, this argument goes something like this. First, we have additive notation starting with, do you disrespect Riemann? Do you just wish to make Abel and Jacobi die? It has always been additive notation since Abel's addition theorems. It's always been the complex numbers modulo some lattice that is an additive group. Why are we even talking about this? To which multiplicative side responds with, well, always an additive group. Yeah, sure. Also, we're doing cryptography here. Why are we caring about characteristic 0? In cryptography, it's always been multiplicative since the start of time when Diffie and Hellman came up with the first time that we used Diffie and Hellman. To which the additive side can't let that be, so they respond with, yeah, just because we by accident used the wrong notation when we did cryptography on the curve, y squared equals x squared times x plus 1. Why should we not correct this historic mistake and go back to the additive notation that was always the right thing to do? These are divisors. Divisors are formal sums. Sums are sums with pluses and so on, not products. The multiplicative notation will respond to that, yeah, you cannot actually use while divisors on a singular curve, so these must be Cartier divisors, and if you pay close attention, they're little multiplication signs, because multiplicative notation is clearly what the math was trying to tell us. So, is that it? Are we forced to argue over this for the end of time until cryptographically relevant quantum computer will finally get rid of this debate? And I am here to say no. This is not all there is to notation. We can do better than this. We can do the one true notation, because what we're doing here is not operating on points. We're not even really using divisors. What we're doing is we are using line bundles. Line bundles are vector spaces, one-dimensional vector spaces, carefully glued to every single point of the curve, and in their very structure, they encode what they want to tell us what the algebraic structure is. So line bundles use tensor products. So this does look a lot better, doesn't it? Like, look at all these calligraphic letters. Look at all these nice tensors in their circles. Like, this is how it was meant to be. This is what we always wanted. And even when quantum computers arrive, we don't need to give up on tensors then, because of course we can also do that for isogenies. Because why would you use some additive or multiplicative notation when there is also a way better notation right there? And if now you think that you don't really care about either additive or multiplicative notation anymore, you just hate this very, very much, then I have done my job and have united us to a new future where we do not longer fight about notation, because we know which one is the worst. Thank you.
A result to be presented at ACM CCS 2024. Blah, 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 blah. A poem. Let's agree on a common subset in a flash, asynchronously, with nothing more than a hash. Resilience has to be perfect. Communication just cubic. In theory and practice, we hope to make a splash. A very bad poem, but not AI generated, so I take full responsibility.
Hello. Hi. Sorry for the boring name. Don't get serious about it. So basically, this is the classical even-Monsu cipher. It's very nice, very cool. But what about if we put this in a white box? So what is a white box? Well, it's white. You know everything about it. You know every input and output of every component. So it's not, even-Monsu is not secure. So the first attempt was taken with this. You replace the key addition part with multiple table lookup, secure table lookup, key dash box. So we ask one question. Why so many rounds? 2 rounds even-Monsu is already secure in this setting. So we did this. We replace one layer with multiple layers. But here is an obvious problem in this thing, is that if you get a collision, you get some table lookup for free. But it works. We managed to do the proof. And also you can do it for continuous leakage. You can mask the input-output and get a nice cipher. we try to compute the security, and we get competitive security and competitive performance. Thank you.
Hello. This will be some vague rambling about cryptographic S boxes and linear approximations. Do we have the slides? So this is coming from Qualcomm. I work for Qualcomm, and we do communication and processors. So I'm going to tell you about large-size linear approximations for the whole S-box, not just for some bits. So it's maximum size approximations. We have an information theory tool for work on S-boxes to see that S-boxes with high DMI will be weak. Motivation is actually differential linear attacks and collision search attacks on Keccak and other hash functions. And it's going to be a linear weakness in Ascon and Keccak S-box. And a theorem about all quadratic S-boxes. So here's our tool. So we have the following idea. Can you predict the output difference of an S-box from the input difference? So you can measure this by information theory. So it's simply the mutual information between the two differences. This is what we do. It's expressed in bits. And so here you have the Keccak and Ascon S-box. And this has been used a lot in cryptography since 1995. Appears in Demon's thesis. And here is the problem. It's possible to see that every small S-box is weak because every S-box leaks at least one bit of information. This is undeniable. So for example, in Ascon, the whole nonlinear layer is passing through 122 bits of information. And we would get just 42 bits with the AES S-box if it replaced the Ascon S-box. And here is interesting law. It's an empirical law. Basically, from this mutual information, we can actually predict the number of cases in which an affine space is mapped to an affine space, which is a very widely used property in cryptography. And by the way, this never happens for ideal S-boxes, but like in AES. Our motivation is also cryptanalysis, so we have differential linear attacks, and they work with connectors, like a differential property produces two linear properties at the output. Okay? And this is related to some spaces, and our observation is that actually affine spaces are not required for this sort of property to work. So here is actually what you do in Keccak and Ascon cryptanalysis. You are looking for a simple whole S-box affine approximations with a vector and a matrix. And the classical method in the literature for showing this, like Eurocrypt 2017, is to use an affine space with 4 points. What we show that you can forget affine spaces. You don't need affine spaces. And then we can do the same thing with 11 points. And this is like a football team. And then we show the following result. If you have a football team of 11 players for which the whole S-box is approximated, you can transfer it to another football field and get another team of 11 players. And it also works. So here is the general theorem. If you get one matrix which works, we can transfer by arbitrary linear translation, and we get another matrix which also works. So that's the interesting result. Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to take our second break, and we will resume at 9:30. Yes, yes. Thank you. Got it.
You have to say, cue the video, and then they will know to play the video.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, welcome back everybody. We will continue. There will be a surprise talk in the third, because we missed one previously. You will notice, but let's get back on.
Hello everyone. I'm Urchin and this is Miriam. So tomorrow is our talk and we're going to present the trailer of our talk.
Cue the music.
Oh, cue. Video.
Cue, play the video, please.
Oh.
Oh, we do have a mic. First time I need. Okay.
In this quantum field, where tales are unfold, Alice doesn't break, make things come to world. In this crypto dance, where secrets mean truth, Bob comes to the play, join the game. Single state, broadcast to say, no coming the way, hard to test. On this over road, Bob take a sip again. Without Zeke proof, Alice is insane. Don't be afraid, Evie is here. Verify and identify the man. With our AQA, everyone join the crew. Proofs are everywhere, classic as it claims. Quantum rhythm, we fly away. That's a boat to the end. That's what we did.
Stay tuned for our talk tomorrow. Thank you.
Yes. So if you want to need the music.
Yes, I will sing. Yes, of course. All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. And. Sandra already told you, Switzerland won the Eurovision Song Contest. Woo! So, now I'm here for the Eurocrypt Song Contest. And you can think of this as an attacker's villain song. Please start the music. Whoa, welcome to the show, let everybody know I'm done proving with games, I'm breaking the blockchains. You better buckle up, I'm coming for your rap. Like Rainbow now we can, your protocols condemn. Whoa, whoa, I found your private key. I found a way to hack with my lattice attack. I broke your code, whoa, and when you sign, I just measure the time. Short nonsense ever buys. I broke your code, whoa. Yeah. Let me tell you a thing from my side with the people who constantly got it right. They don't have a proof inside. There's so much worse than sight. The attack just took one night. There's no Mac on your bike. Putting your key, I cannot write like. We use the CRT and I recover beacon D and I find your private key.
found somewhere between the O's and ones. Your zero knowledge proves not sound. You just make a me.
Thank you, Switzerland!
Hi everyone. Actually, speaking of breaking codes in real life, we'd like to announce our winners of the TII Michaelis challenges that we launched 1 year ago. So this was about Michaelis. We had challenges for message recovery and key recovery on actual Michaelis crypto system. We started it 1 year ago, and actually 3 weeks ago we stopped the competition. We had 3 tracks. The first track was Michaelis key recovery theory, Michaelis key recovery practice, and Michaelis message recovery. And today I'm here to announce the winners. For the first track, we award $10,000 to the team from France, whose name is Rocco Mora. He should be here in the audience. For his paper called, his and his team's paper called A New Approach Based on Quadratic Forms. Our second winner for the Michaelis Practical Key Recovery track that also wins $10,000 is Lawrence Pani, also here. He broke what we estimated as 83-bit security challenge, so the previous song is for you. Well done. And for the Michaelis message recovery, we have a winner with a cryptic name runtimer who solved the 60-bit instance. So, yeah, that's the end of our challenge. We're really happy with the result. We think that we really advanced in Michaelis key recovery problem. And we also think that the message recovery in Michaelis is pretty stable given the results. And we'd like to thank all the participants. Thank you. Can I take 2?
Yeah, you're finished in time, so you're allowed to chop. Ah, yes. Hello. Oh, yes, yes.
No, you're good.
Why is there a thing that says vigorously wiggling? What? Why does it say vigorously wiggling?
I don't know. Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi guys, this is Submit to CFail. I haven't seen most of these slides, but let's do it. This is actually slideshow karaoke. Thank you, Khan, for making the slides, maybe. Anyways, so everyone's favorite workshop is back. You know, today I'll be presenting myself as CFail. And who are you? Exactly. That's CFail. Okay, yeah, so CFail is the Conference for Failed Approaches and Insightful Losses in Cryptology, which is an affiliated workshop by Crypto! Woo! And this venue is not exclusive for things that haven't been solved. It can be things that you end up reaching a solution for. It's all about the process, you know, the real friends where the, oh darn it, the Christmas was the real friends we made along the way. Anyways, a potential venue for workshopping ideas that you're stuck on and you want to talk to other people to get ideas for. The community wants to hear from you. What do you mean, why? Anyways, so consider submitting to CFail if... God, you were supposed to fill this out! Okay, consider submitting to CFail if your failure is a perfectly fine pizza, maybe there's little burns on the edges, but you know what? They're gone if you submit somewhere else that's not us. What do you mean it's quiz time? Okay, so when is the submission deadline for CFail 2024? Is it A, June 1st, 2024? No, you're not supposed to show the answer yet, you dummy. Okay, sorry, Khan told me I cannot be sober for this, so thank him for this. Anyways, B, June 2nd, 2024. C, June 5th, 2024. Or D, June 9th, 2024. Khan already showed you the answer, so you guys are all millionaires now. Congrats. Wait, what? Wrong. Sorry, you guys are not millionaires. When is the final submission deadline? Wait, Khan, you're not supposed to tell them we're going to extend it. Okay, that's a surprise, but we are going to extend the deadline because, oh, you know, deadlines are hard. Whatever. What is the final submission deadline for CFail 2024? I'm not going to read these out. No. Yeah, it's June 8th! So guys, submit to CFail. What else is there? Wait, Con, there's enough of days and numbers. There's a CFail song coming soon, but I can't read. Now it's MC, oh, straight from Zurich, let's go. A freestyle? I got 99 problems, but Cherry CFail ain't one. What is a bar?
Let's finish with the next line.
I got 99 problems, but a Cherry and CFail ain't one?
You have to say another line which rhymes with one.
Oh, it ain't one.
1 minute.
There's a one.
Another try.
Suffering so hard, I need to escape from success. I'm gonna put you in the iron press. Sorry, this is not a threat. This is not recorded, right? Anyways, there are even funnier lines in the full version of the song when we get a real rapper whose name is Khan. But my time is almost up, so I want to let you know. Don't forget to submit to the Zero Knowledge Workshop. That the deadline is in 2 weeks in Edinburgh. Find Markov and Taraj, and they have like, it's ICR funded, and there's slots for 60 people. I don't know, just go to Edinburgh, it's fun. Thank you.
Hey. So yeah, this is a boring podcast for Doll DKG. So let's talk about Frost TOFN threshold signatures. You may have heard of Frost. It's an awesome scheme by Komlo and Goldberg. It has a lot of applications on cryptocurrencies. People want to implement, and there is even an RSC upcoming. So cool. So let's implement this thing. So okay. So the first thing we're gonna need is a distributed key generation. Okay. And, well, unfortunately, the RFC says it's out of scope, so, well, whatever. So, DKG is a solved problem in theory, right? For example, if you want to have a look at our crypto paper from last year, there's a nice algorithm. So, okay, can we just implement this algorithm? Okay, let's go ahead and implement this. And so, well, okay, if you have a look at the fine print, there's different in practice, right? So it requires a reliable broadcast protocol, and that's kind of hard in practice. So, well, what does it even mean? Like reliable? The paper, of course, won't tell you, and then none of the papers will tell you. And like, can we even do this? I mean, this Frost supports dishonest majority. Can we get reliable broadcasts and dishonest majority? Like, how can we even do that? Okay, so this is really a problem in practice, and we really believe that this holds back the deployment of Frost in the real world. Even though a lot of teams announce they will implement this and deploy it, they can't get it to work in practice because they don't know what to do with the broadcast channel and the DKG. So why do we even need broadcasts? And let's have a look at the this 2 of 3 example. So there is an attacker. Let's say we don't have broadcasts. What the attacker can do, again, attacker can equivocate and send a valid message to one of the participants. The participant thinks, okay, cool, awesome, the DKG has finished. Let's just send some money to the resulting public key. And the other guy thinks, oh, well, I'm not sure, it hasn't finished, whatever. So now we're in a really bad situation because there's just one signer left, but we need 2 signers to create a signature, so the money is gone, right? So this signer is out of the game, and well, this is the adversary. They won't have either, so the money is gone. This is bad. This is what we want to avoid. And essential requirement here, forget about broadcast, but what I really need here is, if I finish as an honest participant, I can convince every honest participant to finish. And this is really the property we need. And what can we do to achieve this? And here is the most boring thing we can do. So first, run the DKG protocol without a broadcast channel, but don't finish yet. Then everyone signs the transcript of the DKG protocol, sends the signature to everyone, and then only as a participant, only if you received all the end signatures, you finish. So that really means just get a signed statement from everyone that they agree on the transcript of the protocol. And this works, right? And why does it work? Well, if the upper guy finishes, now he can convince the lower guy because he has a transcript and the signatures, and the other guy will also finish. So this is exactly the property that we needed. And when I tell this to people, they tell me all kinds of objections. And the one common objection I hear is that, well, but this is trivial. But okay, I mean, it's true, but I want to use this thing. I don't want to publish about it, okay? So let's just do this. And if you think this is interesting, actually not boring, we think it's not that boring. Here's Chill DKG, we're writing a spec about this. Talk about it. Talk to us if you're interested.
All right, hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the tier list of random oracle model. So we already know what random oracle model is. It is something that returns consistent random values. But these days there are many variants for different constructions, and so it is more like a roll your own model now. And we're going to do a tier list of these models. If you have never seen a tier list, it's basically an SOK for Zoomers. So it is just the higher the better, and it's all subjective, and we're just having fun here, so keep a note of that. And let's start with the good old Rump. Let's be conservative and put it on B tier. So now we have the backdoor random oracle model. This is the one that governments use, but it has a friendly name, so I think it's A tier. Then you have the signing random oracle. In this one, the random oracle signs with the query so that you don't have to recheck it with the random oracle to check the consistency. You just verify the signature. But then you need a trustless execution for realizing this. So in my opinion, it's C tier. Then you have the low degree ROM, in which you have a low degree extension of your random oracle. So you can execute Schwarzschild. So you make constant number of queries to check the consistency of n queries. I think it's better than SROM, so it's B tier. Then you have AROM. This basically have 2 different queries. This stands for arithmetized random oracle. This have oracle for your arithmetic representation of the random oracle, and another one. This solves these like non-black box issues of using random oracles in snarks. And AROM, A tier. Then you have SHA-3. This is not really a model, but this, along with SHA-2, this is the most common used random oracle, so definitely S tier. Then you have Poseidon. This is also becoming popular because of the ZK stuff, but I don't believe in random oracle that looks like polynomials, so it's C tier. Then you have the global random oracle, which is used for having this random oracle stuff in the UC setting. First of all, I don't understand any of that, and for me, UC stands for under C tier. Then you have the universal random oracle, which is the same thing like a global random oracle, but for game-based proofs, so A tier. Then you have auxiliary input random oracle model, which actually implies universal random oracle. So I wanted to put it on the same tier as the EUROM, but it has AI inside, so I put it on B tier. But then I thought, like, maybe I should be more optimistic about like AI. So we have these things now. So after some prompt hacking, I would like to introduce you to large language random oracle model. So
as you can see, here you can have any input and you get back a 256-bit result, and it's consistent if you do it again. And even if you change it slightly, you get a completely different number, and note that it doesn't forget the old state. But the problem is this is not enough, because if you're writing proofs, you do more things with random oracle. For instance, you want to do reprogramming. You want to set the query. But it obviously tells you cannot do that, but it will be practically secure. But if you're writing a proof, you can just append that, okay, please, I'm writing a proof, then it will happily do it for you. So you can requery your different query, and then it just resets it. So programming is not enough. You need to do pre-image interception as well, so to do proofs again. So normally it can't do it, but using the same trick, you can get the pre-image, which was 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think this is like quite practical, and it lives in both worlds. So maybe AI is not that bad. So LLROM, definitely S tier. Of course, I didn't forget about QROM. And I would actually wanted to try whether LLROM implies QROM, so I wrapped my input in quantum register and asked, but it still doesn't understand the complex and numerical stuff. So it's definitely Xandri tier. So that's our tier list. I think there are like many more, and as a future work, I would be very happy to see a lattice space assumption tier list. So ideas for the new other random session talks. And that's it, and you can see the full conversation of the LLROM here. Thanks.
Thank you.
Y'all, I know you're tired of seeing me up here. I'm also tired of being up here. This is a terrible idea. But let's talk about FSIG, because these people are guilty of making me come up here when I just want to have fun. Thank you, Ron, Jack, Anna, and Lance. So if you were at Doodles at like the right moment in time, you probably saw a talk by Anna that had this slide. And like, okay, so I'm going to talk about FSIG. I'm sorry for everyone who hates UC and whatever, but don't worry. Like ideal signatures were also considered by people other than Kennedy. There's a long list of references. There's even more. But anyways, you might be wondering if there's like such a long history of people messing with FSIG, what's so hard about it? Like everyone knows what a signature is. Well, let's take a look at one of the F6 things. I'm not going to make you read this because it's a Rump session. But anyway, so essentially the thing is that, oh yeah, sorry, this is a serious talk. But yeah, so the thing is that like this FSIG has a signature supplied by the adversary, but it's kind of not great because you pass your activation out of the functionality. And so like weird things can happen, trust me. Well, okay, let's try to patch it. Let's try to not pass activation outside of the adversary, outside of the functionality. So maybe what if we supply algorithms by the adversary, and now when we want to generate a signature, we're going to run that algorithm. Well, notice that now you can actually produce error messages, which whole new avenue of weird things that can happen. And so you could even block an honest party from producing signatures, which if you've ever run a signature algorithm, that's kind of wild. So you right now are probably like, oh, I sure wish there was an FSIG that couldn't stop so early. Wow, it's my besties, this group of people. You wouldn't happen to have anything that you're working on, right? Wow, but we do. Coming soon to ePrint. And hopefully somewhere else, like it'd be nice to travel. And it'd be nice to do other things. We're going to have an unstoppable ideal functionality for signatures and a modular analysis of Doodles Strong broadcast. Wow, Doodles Strong. Also, because I can't do any talk with not showing off my cats, you've been lobstered.
So, hello everyone. Fortunately, this is the very last serious talk of the session, but I will keep it short. I would like to announce basically a new paper that we recently printed, which introduces a new digital signature, which is both anonymous and Sybil resilience, called serial signatures. So serial signatures are civil resilience in a sense that we bind users' unique real-world identities to their digital signatures, generating credentials, which results in, at maximum, basically one credential per context or application. And they are anonymous in a sense that all these credentials are unlinkable and basically reveal no information about the identity of the signer. And the question actually me, together with my co-authors, Aggelos Kios, Marco Fulweis, and Elizabeth Kreis, asked ourselves was that how can we efficiently basically handle this mapping between real-world identities to credentials, distributed it across multiple issuers with Byzantine fault tolerance, in a way that all these issuers are completely stateless with basically no memory, while maintaining privacy and ensuring civil resilience all at the same time. Which seems like a paradox. How can you prevent Sybil attacks in a fully anonymous setting with absolutely no state, no memory, which actually resulted in this basically paper, the answer to this question. So yeah, thank you very much. If you are interested in this topic, please reach out to me. Cheers.
So attention everyone, it's my pleasure to announce the next edition of Eurocrypt 2025. So if you don't know yet, so it's gonna be in Madrid, Spain from May 4 to May 8, 2025. And the affiliated events are gonna be in the weekend before, May 3 and 4. So this is going to be, okay, you know how to reach Madrid, so it's a very conveniently located with an airport that reached many cities with direct flights. So this is going to be our venue, so it's the Hotel Rio Plaza de España. It's an historical building in the heart of Madrid city center. It's walking distance to the lots of main attractions of the city, like the Royal Palace, the museums, the very nice parks. And it's also conveniently located, so you can reach it very easily with an extensive public transportation network. We are going to use its Congress Center that features lots of rooms and conference facilities. So let me advertise Madrid. So what you may not, if you don't know Madrid, so it's a city that offers lots of stuff. So there's a lot of arts, lots of beautiful museums, with lots of masterpieces. There's a lot of monuments, sightseeing, and a vibrant nightlife. Lots of good food. And it also offers lots of entertainment and sport activities if you're into football or tennis. For example, May 4 will be the final of the Madrid Tennis Open. And, well, next year is going to be the scene for Eurocrypt. So if you want to come, start getting ready to submit your papers. These are the tentative deadlines. So October 2 for the submissions, and September 4, it's a tentative deadline for proposing your affiliated events. So some more information, the program co-chairs are going to be Serge Fair and Pierre-Alain Fouque. So general co-chairs, it's myself, Ignacio Cascudo, and Maribel González Vasco that are with me here. And our website is up and running from today, so please check it out for more information. And on behalf of IMDEA, that is our main organizing institution, it's my pleasure to say that we are looking forward to host you in Madrid.
All right, I want it noted that we are ending on time, so we're going to take home all the rest of the chocolates. We have 2 prizes that we want to award for the Rump session talks. The first of which, I'm forgetting the exact title, but I think it was What Happens on the Pleasure Boat Stays on the Pleasure Boat.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Your prize?
And the prize is chocolate and a set of Cards Against Cryptography. And appropriately for our second prize, I think it's a good answer to the question of why that code sticker looks so sad. The song, I Broke Your Code. Thank you very much.
For a second rendition?
I think we do actually have time for a second rendition if you're willing to do it again. I think the audience would enjoy that. Do we need to get the slides up? 1 second. This time, let's have the audience sing along when you feel moved.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your love, everybody. And thank you for all the Rump session talks. They were amazing. And in the meantime, I would also like to thank you, my wonderful helpers who are here. Matteo, Shannon, Matilda. Almost there, almost there. Don't worry, they still need to prepare a little bit. Okay. All right. Whenever you want. They also have to find the file back, I guess. We got it? Okay. There we go. Yeah? Almost there? Okay. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I also want to say that this song was written while on the pleasure boat, by the way. Whoa, welcome to the show. Let everybody know I'm done proving with games. I'm breaking the blockchains. You better buckle up. I'm coming for your rap. Like Rainbow and Weekend. Your protocol's condemned. Whoa, I found your private. I found a way to hack with my latest attack. I broke your code, whoa, and when you sign, I just measure the time. Short answers ever buys. I broke your code, whoa, yeah. Let me tell you, I stand from my side with the people who code they got it right. They don't have a proof inside, all the cryptos work, I got nothing right. This is so much worse than sack. The attack just took one night. Then lag on your bite. Flipping your key, I cannot write like when you use the CRT and I recover pick and then I find your private. I found found a way to hack with my lattice attack. I broke your code, whoa, and when you sign, I just measure the time. Short nonsense of a mind. I broke your code, whoa. Somewhere between the O's and Y's, your zero knowledge proves not sound. You use wikviation. Somewhere between the O's and Y's, your zero knowledge proves not sound. You use wikviation.
And that concludes the Rump session. Thank you all for attending.